to build your channel, and I enjoy making videos. I just enjoy it's fun for me, and most of mine right now are have to do with jewelry, but it's jewelry appreciation. I'm not selling on YouTube. It's just I teach art appreciation, and I've been teaching a series on district called Collections Chats. You can watch for that in the live shows, and where I've been teaching the language of design. And uh, so my YouTube right now is dedicated to just the appreciation of jewelry, the design of the jewelry, and most of it's just set to music, and it's just an aesthetic experience. There we go. Okay, Brooks, Mama, hi. You're raiding in. Boy, it was hard for me to pull away from those last pieces you were showing, those natural stone necklaces that you got. I hope you going to put those up for sale at some point. I'll be watching. Hey, Curry. Hey, how are you? I am trying to clear my throat. We're all getting funky throats. And Curry, I hope your ear is doing better. Welcome in, everybody. You bought two of them, so she offered some of them up for sale, and I missed it. Well, Brooks, I'll have to get in your store and see if you've got any in your buy it now. Okay, everybody's looking at all my social media stuff, and I just told before y'all came in, the ones that were in here already, I really would deeply appreciate anybody at a later time going to YouTube and searching Pack Rat Queen, all one word. And if y'all have YouTube channels, you know how important it is that you gain subscribers. I'm trying to build that channel because I just love making videos. And right now the channel is really devoted to the aesthetics, just enjoying jewelry and jewelry design. I'm not teaching over there. It's just most of it's set to music, and you'll see Puddin over there. She gets it's called Puddin Tales, Tales, Puddin Tales. She gets into my jewelry occasionally, but so it's just right now jewelry appreciation, but I'm getting ready to try and get all of my teaching videos over there so that you can go back and watch my language of design and all the other teaching videos that I do. Well, I am dragging on here. And let's get started with my 60 minutes around the world. And we're going to look at, let me move that out of the way. And there I am. If I don't have a mirror up, I have the monitor to a computer. Y'all just can't escape looking at my mirror image. Um, I didn't know that was going to happen. This computer that's set up here and that we're in front of is my old Apple computer that I use just for image manipulation. Because I've just got so many. Photography was an area that I worked in as an artist, and uh, so this whole computer is dedicated to it. But what I'm wanting to show you is because I'm going to take all of us to Haiti tonight, and I'm excited to do that. Haiti is a place I just dearly love, and I've been there many, many times. And I think I told y'all, and I'm blabbing a lot because some of you may know or not know Rachel. Just very, just out of I think it was just an hour or so ago. She just finally submitted to being sick and said she just couldn't make her show, which was following me. So I took her hour, so I've got a little longer time. Teal Chickadee's ready to step in if I need her to. But so I was grateful in a way because I've got some great stuff to show y'all and to put up for auction. But I wanted to preface what I show you with a little bit about Haiti because we don't always see when we see stuff on the news happening, like when that horrible earthquake happened a couple of years ago. uh, it's you're not seeing Haiti in its true light, and so I'm going to show you Haiti, the real Haiti, not just during catastrophes. Okay, and I'm going to try and look at the. Hey, Amy, there, spill the tea bag. Tea bag is here, y'all. If y'all not following tea bag, um, well, she's called Spill the Tea, but she's on a different platform. Anyway, she's one of my good friends, and I have bought a very knowledgeable, bought a lot of stuff from her. Okay, what you're looking at up here, these two grinning fellas, and I think I alluded to this in a previous show, but this is my late husband. He died in 2012. His name was Dale, and he died 2012, just 8 weeks after my mother died. 2012 was a crazy year. Um, but bless his heart, he was an insurance broker and real estate person, and you never caught him, usually without a suit on, a three-piece suit on. So for me to catch a picture of him with his blue jeans, overalls on, and just his T-shirt, was he wasn't happy about it, and he was frowning because he did not like his picture taken. Uh, and I finally bugged him enough saying, "Smile, Dale, smile." So he gives me that goofy grin. Okay, well, why is he standing there? That's Brother Abraham, and he is my Haitian friend that I may have mentioned that I knew. He's bishop over about 35 or so of our churches that we have in Haiti. He's been down that, well, he's from Haiti. He's got a family. He's a grandfather now, and I think he's even got great grandchildren. But y'all need to pray for Pastor Abraham. He's fortunate that he can come in and out of Haiti when he wants to. He just gets on the plane, flies. He's well trusted by their government that he's not going to leave Haiti because he pastors. He's got responsibilities down there, so he's not, trying to come here and stay. But he's had cancer. For the last couple of years, so he's been coming about 2 or 3 times a year to have cancer treatments here, and uh, always, usually during the summer, he would come and stay about a month. Well, Dale just adored him coming. The very first time he ever came, back in the 80s, I think it was, Abraham saw Dale out there with his riding lawnmower. We had about 12 acres and a big old lake. And Abraham said, "Mr. Bush, let me cut your grass." And Dale said, "No, no, you can't. You can't. No, you're our guest." And he says, "No," he said, "I've never seen a riding lawnmower before." And we don't have grass in Haiti. He said, so it'd be a real experience. So he got on that thing and was zipping around out in front of the house. Dale came up to the house to me and said, "Come here and look at this." He pointed down there. He said, "Do you see? There's your bishop riding around on the riding lawnmower cutting our grass." He said, "That is too cool." He said, "That's a good man right there." Well, anyway, what are they doing with a shovel? And Abraham's got a pickaxe, and they've got uh, he's got on Dale's rubber boots and a pair of Dale shorts, and that's my T-shirt. Well, what they were doing is they were getting ready to tackle the beavers. We had a huge creek that dumped into our lake, and the beavers would dam it up occasionally and just make a mess. And Dale enjoyed going down there and messing up their dam, which only aggravated the beavers more, and they cut down more trees. And but Dale had a living battle going on with those beavers. They'd swim around out in the lake and beat their tails at him. But he and Abraham went down there and had a good time uh, doing all of that. So those are good memories. And I think I told y'all, some of you may have heard me, that Dale was actively dying. The day that he died, he was actively dying. And Abraham called early that morning and said, "God's told me to get on a plane and come now to see Mr. Bush before he dies." And and he said, "I've asked the Lord to keep him alive." Well, he did. He got there about 2 hours before Dale died, so Dale was unconscious by that time, but he was able to see him and have a prayer with him. I'm gonna get weepy here the next, and then when we had the funeral the next few days, Abraham was there to help me with all of that and spoke at Dale's funeral. And it was just really special, really special. Okay, I haven't been watching the chat, and I lost a bunch of folks telling this story. I'm wanting to turn you on about Haiti and the good folk of Haiti. But I'm going to show you now some photographs. Let's see if I can get this stand to come up. Hang on just a second. Let's see if I can get my stand to come up a little higher. Nope, I can't. I'm just going to hold it. Sorry, I know I'm bouncing you around. These are some photographs that I took, and I'm just going to zip through them quickly. I really want to give you an idea of what the countryside looks like and what the people look like that created the items that I'm going to put up for auction tonight. And uh, goats are typically to be seen, and you'll notice this one's got a broken rope on him. This was a baby little goat that took up with me. And I was told, don't pet that goat. Do not pet that goat. And we kept going, why, why? Well, I understand now why. It got my scent and it found my bedroom window, which was open. And at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, that little baby goat stood out that window just going, nah, nah. I mean, just making all sorts of racket. So I got a picture of him so I could remember that. This is a typical type of architecture that is up in the area called Patienville, which is up north of the capital there, Port-au-Prince. It's on the bay. It's up in the mountainous region, and in fact, you wouldn't believe it that it's a Caribbean island and hot as the Dickens in Haiti. But up on these mountains, they actually at times have to use fireplaces to stay warm. That's the difference in the altitude, and people don't think of Haiti getting that cold, but this is typical architecture in the area of called Patienville that has a little more. Uh, um, the people are more financially well off, and some of the uh, art shops, like this one right here. This is art studios, and this is probably where I bought a few of the things that I'm going to show you tonight. This is all in Patienville. Now, these are to the other extreme. This is down in Patienville. This is an orphanage that our denomination is big on orphanages. And when I was there, I think this was the first trip I took back in the mid 80s. I visited one of our orphanages, and these were the brand new outhouses that had been built, and they were so proud of them. There I am, standing there doing what you do. You know, you hug and love on all the babies. We had put in a new swing set. They love that. Oh, here I am. Look at that, y'all. Aren't they the sweetest thing? They just steal your heart. That's one of our churches right there that I visited. Now you're gonna see some folks just on the street, and this was down in Port-au-Prince, in the area called the Iron Market, which y'all is just the most amazing place. It's but I'm showing you these pictures, and then I'm gonna make a comment about that these were back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s and what it looks like today. Okay. This is, and you see that person sitting back up there? There's a person sitting back up there, and they're selling coal, and they burn wood. It's to get the coal. And y'all, it's one of the reasons why Haiti is almost completely denuded of trees. When you're flying over that island, you've got um, Santo Domingo on one side and Haiti on the other, and the line that separates those two countries from up in the air in an airplane, you can tell because Haiti is totally brown. earth exposed, eroded, and Santa Domingo, they've not allowed them to cut the trees. So it's green and lush. It's the most bizarre thing you'll ever see. But they use that coal to cook with, and you'll see some of that in just a minute. But people just out and about doing their business. There's another little coal vendor shop back up under there. And this is some of the streets. Now, at this particular time, they were uh, having problems with trash, garbage collection, and that's not particularly unusual, especially today. But just vehicles, parked around, and you just drive. But there's not really any rules to driving down there. That's a tap tap right there. I've got a little wooden toy that I'm going to put up for sale, and I've shown it to you before. It's made out of wood, but that's a pickup truck, and they've put that little thing in the back of it, and it's a taxi, and you climb up and sit inside there on benches, and then they call them tap taps because when you get to where you want to go, you tap on the ceiling or up against the cab there, and he stops, and so everybody calls them tap taps. All right, and look at that. Now this is in Port-au-Prince, in the capital. In the capital. Some more in the capital. A lot of street vendors, and you'll begin to hear on the news with all the Haitians coming here how they continue in this practice of setting up on the sides of the streets, on the sidewalks, just like they do in Haiti, to sell. And the cities right now having to decide what to do about it. But you know what? When I was living in Italy, the same thing was happening there with all of the immigrants coming in. That's been going on for years, especially from out of Africa coming into Italy. They do the same thing. They'll set up on sidewalks and sell whatever they've got to sell. And the Italian government, there in Rome, they've been allowing them to do it. And I bought lots of stuff just right off the sidewalk. I thought the name of that street was kind of cool because Haiti is a miracle. Now look here. These are paintings. Here's some of the woodwork, and I'm going to be showing you some of these tonight, putting them up for auction. A lot of things made out of wood, and where they get the wood, I have no idea. But their choice of color, a lot of primary colors, secondary colors, so they're very bright. That's a bus. Is it the back of the bus? Yeah, it's the back of the bus. And they paint everything. They paint. They love color. Look at that. Yellow, blue, red. We don't often see paintings that are of the primary colors, but there's one right there. Oh, that's sad. Okay, beautiful flowers. I did take flowers. Are y'all staying with me? How long have I been going? Almost 20 minutes. I'm going to get to selling in just a second. But I want you to appreciate the land that these things are coming from. Those are mangoes, and that was right off the porch balcony of my girlfriend that lived down there that I was staying with, her apartment up in Patienville. She'd just walk out on her balcony and pick a mango for breakfast. That was cool. That's the Capitol building. I think that building's been destroyed now. Let me stop right here and say that not only that horrible earthquake they had a number of years ago, this building suffered terrible damage. But if you're not aware of what's happening in Haiti, their government has completely collapsed. There is no police force. Their armies are just completely helpless. I think the guy that was the president has fled the country. I may be wrong about that, but that wouldn't be unusual. And it is literally gangs that are ruling in the streets. And I was showing you Brother Abraham there. Anybody that is a pastor or bishop like him, they're on a death list. And so Abraham had to take his family in the middle of the night and flee up into the north, going north and going closer to Santo Domingo to get out of the city because they live just outside of Port-au-Prince. But they had to get away, and Abraham told me a couple of days ago he calls me quite often to check on me. To check on me. Can you believe that? And he said that they have. He's gotten word that they have completely. They being whoever has completely ransacked his home. He was so proud of his home. He had a nice home and stolen everything. They've taken his vehicles. He's lost everything, but he's not lost his life. God's watching over him. But they have been with machetes cutting the heads off of anybody that's a Christian pastor down there. So I think this building has probably been run through and run over, and it's really sad, and it kind of lets you understand why there's so many Haitians trying to leave and come here. Bless their hearts. All right, look at those ladies down there. It's what we call the Christian ladies. And let me give you an anecdote just to give you a little more personal local color. And there's a saying that's been around for a long time that of the population in Haiti, that 70% of the people are Catholic and 30% are Protestant, but 100% are voodoo, practice voodoo. Now, I know that that's not true, but it does say a lot. The voodoo is the combination of Catholic beliefs and rituals and the African tribal beliefs that were brought over when these folks were brought over from Africa. They brought their natural the belief in naturalism stuff, anyway, the voodoo practices, and it merged with Catholicism. So it's a rather odd religious belief, and it is a religion. It was declared an official religion just a few years ago, and you wonder why Haiti is having so much trouble. In fact, when they freed themselves from the French, when Haiti was first formed, they thought, well, what do we do now? And the leaders, if you will, all got together and had a huge voodoo rituals and ceremonies, and they brought in from Africa. This is all historically accurate. I'm not telling you a story. Brought in from Africa some leading voodoo priests, and they literally dedicated their new nation to voodoo and to Lua, which are the spirits of, they believe in spirits. And they say that if there's two Haitians in a room, there's at least 20 Lua or spirits. And the sacrifices that you've heard about down there is that the belief is that the Lua have to be fed. And it's the responsibility of the humans to do it. But these people live in fear. Not these two women. These women are devout Christians, and they're good as gold. That's what we call them, black gold. We call them black. They're the most devout Christians you'll ever find. Anyway, they put us here in the United States to shame. But the uh, the voodoo drums start every night about 1 o'clock in the morning. I know I've been there every single night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it is creepy. If you're not used to it, it is creepy. And I've got a personal story to tell you in just a minute. Okay, this is up in Patientville. Now, these are some of the houses of the elite. Would you believe there's some palatial mansions? In fact, I think this one was owned by Jackie Onassis. Is that not amazing? They own these big compounds down in Haiti. Of course, she doesn't own it now, but they're rich, famous people that own these huge palatial mansions and compounds. They call them. They all got walls. See the walls around them. And this is up in Patientville, up in the mountains, so you'll see fireplaces because it stays cool up there. But this is where the average Haitian lives on these cliffside. They build out of concrete, and they literally hang the houses on these cliff sides. Now, y'all, this flood that we've just had up in North Carolina, where there have been was mudslides. You don't want to see a mudslide here, and it has happened. You know that these hurricanes go over Haiti, and it's a tragedy. But the people are resilient. This is a voodoo priest home, and you can tell because of that flag right there, and you see them everywhere. If you know what to look for. There's Abraham and one of his assistants, and that is our church compound, which is gone now. It's been completely taken over by the gangs, and people living, squatting, and all of our equipment, all of our church equipment's all gone. All of our trucks and car, it's all gone. Um, these, oh, did you see that pot? Look at that pot on, is that a guy or a woman? I can't tell. But they carry the most weight on their heads. Look at these two kids. These were the sweetest kids. They came by every day on one of my trips where I was staying and sold me mangoes just right off the trees. And look at that, y'all. Jewelry sellers. She's all dressed. I'm going to tell you something. They are clean and their clothes are pressed and the children are I'll show you a picture of the children in a minute, but this is a flower market and it's not unusual to see them walking around with things of flower on their head. And I'm going to sell a hat tonight that is a flower woman's hat. uh, you can tell the flower women by those hats. I've got one for sale. There's my girlfriend Leda, and she's having her hair done. That's more of that orphanage. The peace of God be with you in Creole. That's in Creole, which is a form of French. Now, look at this. These are some arty photos that I took. I brought back to use in brochures and on book cover, book jackets and stuff. Not that one. Oh, that's a school, and that's one of our schools. The law, well, it used to be. I don't know what it is now. That there are no public schools. Haiti, the government doesn't run the schools. The deal is that if you have a church or an orphanage, that sort of organization in Haiti, you have to agree to have a school. And so it's like little private schools, and every school has its own uniform and its own color of gingham. The little girls and boys wear gingham shirts, and y'all, they are pressed clean, and the little girls got bows in their hair. And this is one of ours, and look how sweet. This was a really good school. There's the headmaster. Look at that. This little girl followed me around all over the place. She's got on that little pink visor. That's some of our men down there. They're building churches. Haiti in the missions world is considered the school of missions, especially for people in the United States. You can't go to Haiti without seeing large groups of students and of church groups, and they're all coming down there usually to do construction. And they bring the supplies, fly them over, bring them in, and then they actually supervise the building. And it's how they get things done in Haiti. Now, there's a multi story building that's kind of unusual. These are just some of the local folks I'd see walking around. And look at this one. Look at, oh boy, it's got on a shirt from Israel. I was telling him, I like your t shirt. I like your t shirt. Okay, there's a construction. Oh, look at that. This was one of my, I actually used this on a book cover, something our church was doing, our denomination, not my church, but the missions department. And look at that smile. Look at that. I love the way they paint their doors. They paint everything in all these beautiful, bright colors. Look at that. Oh, all right, right here. This guy. Uh, I wandered down to a. Let me put this down. I wandered down to a vacant lot with my sketch pad when I was there on that particular trip and sat down and pulled my sketch pad out and started, whoops, sorry, started sketching a goat that was tethered up in that vacant lot. And I was just sitting on a log, or it was maybe a rock or something. And so I'm doing, and I started hearing all this rustling behind me because when I got there, there was nobody in that vacant lot, just me and the goat. But there was rustling behind me, and y'all, I turned around. Let me see if I can put this on this stand so I can hold the book in both hands. I turned around, and there must have been 40 people, including children, standing behind me. They were so quiet. They snuck up behind me. They were fascinated. They were trying to look over my shoulder to see what I was doing. They couldn't imagine what I was doing. Well, that picture of that guy that I just showed you sat down right next to me, and he could speak pretty good English. His name was John. This was in 1993. So I just started, roughly sketching him, and he wrote his name and all that kind of stuff. And when I got to this guy, this guy said, "Do me, do me." Now these are older fellas; they're probably in their early 20s. His name was Roger. Okay, well, I have to tell you what happened. While I was drawing him, I began to hear this commotion. I mean, real commotion behind me coming up. And I turned, and it was this little old lady, little old grandmama. But I knew right away she was a voodoo priestess because they dress in a certain way. And boy, she was pointing her finger and shaking her finger at me and speaking in Creole. I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but I could tell she was not happy with me. She was just really giving it to me. And so I asked Roger, said, "What is she saying?" He said, "Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Just keep on drawing. Just ignore her." And I finally said, "No, please. She's obviously distraught. Please tell me um, what she's saying." He said, "Okay." He said, "She is cursing you." And I went, "What?" He said, "She's a voodoo priestess." I said, "Yeah, I knew that." He said, "Well, she's cursing you." Well, why the heck is she cursing me? And he said, "Because you're drawing me, you're capturing my likeness." And we have they, she has a superstition that if you do that, you're capturing my spirit or trying to influence my spirit or the Loey, the spirits that are belong to me and follow me. And I was just fascinated with what he was telling me. Well, I spoke kindly to her, but she didn't let up. And so uh, after I finished with Roger here, I closed my book up and went home. But I want y'all to know that night I went to bed, and when I got up the next morning, I had three little red whelps on this finger, or it might have been the other one, but anyway, three whelps, uh, like a mosquito bite, sort of. But they were red, really red, coming up here. And by and I thought, what the heck? And my friend, who's a nurse, said, "Oh, looks like you've been bitten by a spider." I said, "No way." And she said, "Yeah, but you'll be okay. We'll keep an eye on it." Well, I went home after that, and by the time at the end of that day, this whole finger was aching. I mean, like severe arthritic aching. Well, by the time I got home, my wrist, it had spread up to my wrist, was aching. And by the time I got to my doctor, my elbow was aching. Okay. And I could tell that it was spreading. Okay. And so I went to my doctor, my little local GP here, and I said, uh, my friend down in Haiti said that I was probably bitten by a spider. And he said, "Ah, a spider bite wouldn't give you that kind of joint inflammation." And he just poo-pooed it and said, Just take some Tylenol, you'll be okay. And y'all, it it got off with me that he was so dismissive. So I was a graduate student at Georgia at the time. So I just went down to Georgia to their science library, which is huge, and got my nose into researching venomous Caribbean spiders. And guess what? There's a spider that is um, um, known to be in Haiti and other Caribbean islands, but in Haiti, and there was a name for it, but it will get on your clothes if you're out, especially in vacant lots. I kid you not. It said if you go through vacant lots that or that the spider will get on your clothes and it won't bother you. It'll wait until you get home and at night and in bed, and it literally is known as the bed spider. It will crawl into your bed under the covers, God, and bite you. And it does, the symptoms are arthritic inflammation of the joints, and it spreads. I took all my research in that big old folder and went back to my doctor and plopped it on his desk. And I said, Dr. Hoyt, take this home with you and read it. In the meantime, I need something for this arthritic inflammation that's powerful. And so I did finally get it taken care of. But y'all, that is my voodoo priestess scary bug. And you wonder why I wear bugs. I never made that connection before. Why wear bugs on my cap? I do, don't I? That's kind of weird. Okay, let's finish this up real quick. There's Roger. Let's just. Oh, there's three little schoolgirls. See their little uniform, and they're just. I don't. How their mamas keep them so clean and keep their clothes clean and pressed. They use irons that have been heated over those that coal that you saw is the old timey how we used to heat our irons on top of a fire. That's how they don't have the electricity. That's how they iron. Okay, that's the end of that. Well, thank y'all for being so very patient, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of background. I'll leave you with one last image from out of my sketchbook that says it all right there. Is that not the sweetest thing? Her name was Eldora, Elora. And what does that say? Haiti, May, that's 2003. Another Princess in Pink. I was collecting drawings of little girls dressed in pink. Look at the beads in her hair. Is she not beautiful? All right. Okay, let's go. Let me get my sucker and I'm gonna take y'all over to there's my gallery wall. Rachel was talking about gallery walls the other night in one of her shows. But this in time for a tour of my house. Y'all excuse the mess. You know I live here alone, so I can kind of just me and the cat. I could just do what I want to, and don't have to answer to anybody. I'm gonna set y'all down right here. And somebody asked me if I had gotten a bug that I had bought a pen if I'd gotten it yet, and I said I'm still unpacking some boxes. It's probably there. Oh, okay, let me. I want to start showing you some of these items. Hang on just a second. I forgot something over here. I'm coming. I think I told y'all that I was going to. This was a mobile stage. Well, um, That's what's happening. I'm moving y'all around. I'm not at my regular stage, and I'm in my bathrobe, but I still got on my pearls. I wasn't planning on showing you a full shot. um, Somebody remind me, what was I saying? Um, oh, mobile stage. So some of the items I'm showing you today are still hanging on my walls. Some of them are not, but I wasn't going to try and take them down because I'm going to have to get somebody to come on a ladder if you buy any of it, which I hope you do. And by the way, just because it's coming off my wall, don't be concerned about that. I would much rather see these things going to one of y'all, and that instead of one day, and that I'm 74 years old, okay, and my kids have said, "Mom, you're enjoying selling, sell away." So I'm starting to just sell stuff that have meant things to me all this time, and I'm sitting right next to this cabinet. I'll show you that in a second. But anyway, I would much rather you guys buy it than my kids be left with estate sales and all this stuff go to strangers. And that's not to put pressure on you to buy it, but don't feel funny about buying stuff right off my wall. All right, I have shown y'all this piece before. I'm sure some of you haven't seen it, but this is a little thumb. It's a thumb chime that is made out of a gourd, and I bought this in Haiti. And it, here, I'm not very, I've actually watched YouTubes of people playing these things. And actually, play it like guitar with a melody. Look at that's just little wrapped pieces of tin cans around it, and it's just amazing how creative they can be. And this is a conversation piece, and I'm going to put this up to onto stage and see if anybody's interested in having it. And there it is right there. Move to stage, start auction. Okay, so if anybody's interested, it is a unique piece of handcrafted work from Haiti with that distinctive salamander. We're going to see another piece with a lizard in just a minute that's made out of tin. But you could introduce your children to how they other ways to make music. And this is actually out of a collection I have of musical instruments from around the world. I'm was raised playing the piano, love the piano, and admire anybody that can play guitars and stuff. But in my travels, all the different countries, I've tried about at least one instrument that was local like this, unique. And so I've got quite a collection, and I'd love to see this one go. Okay, this is ended. Rerun it. Okay. Um, Rerun it. Restart auction. There we go. Hey, Teal Chickadee. What time is it? 6:45. Be available about 7:45 or so if you can. If you can't, it's okay. But if I run out of stuff to say, you can rescue me. Okay. Did somebody bid on this? Rachel bid on it. Yay! Oh, your kids will enjoy this. They probably drive you crazy. At least I'm not trying to sell you one of my bongo drums. That'll be next. Congratulations. Yay. Okay, that's coming to you. Let me put it down somewhere that makes sense. I'm literally sitting on a folded chair right here. Uh, at my age, it's not so easy to get up and get down. All right, just because this is sitting on this table right here beside me, let me pull this up. Every time that every time that Brother Abraham would come to visit me, he'd bring some little gift. And this one was pretty easy to stick in his suitcase. I'm going to show you some others, though, that he literally carried under his arm on the plane and on the buses. The man is precious. Okay. This says Haiti. It's a typical wooden piece, and it's got a map of the country included. And this is Santo Domingo is over here. The rest of the island is over here. So here is Port-au-Prince, the capital, right on this bay right here. And when that horrible earthquake happened, it happened all the way here around at Jeremy. This whole area right in here was just totally devastated. It's really, really sad. Now, Jacmel down on the coast here is a place where some tourist boats will come and dock. So it's kind of got some touristy items. And then all the way up here on this coast, if you get a cruise ship that goes to Haiti, you'll probably dock somewhere up in here. So there's some big hotels and fancy stuff up in here. You wouldn't even really know unless you took a tour right down in here, the real Haiti. You need to come down into this area. Our church compound was right in here, and Abraham is up in here somewhere in hiding with his family. I don't see how in the world he braves coming down and flying because you have to fly. No, I think he can fly out of there. I need to ask him where he's flying out of because his flight. Y'all pray for. His name is Armando Abraham. Is his last name? I call him Brother Abraham. Okay, let's put this little thing up for sale. The fact that it's got a little map on it, I think is interesting for if you've got kids. But it just sits on your shelf, and I love the way they designed the H, looking like a tree. I tell you, the craftsmen down there are so talented. Is this running? Yes, it is. 11 seconds. And look at the heart. I'm telling you, those folks. Oh, you know what? That's got a thing. I wonder what would you could put right there. Stick a pencil in it. You could put it on your desk and stick a pencil in it. Okay. All right. That's ended. That'll go back on my shelf. Okay, let's look up. And hang on just a second before we look up. I'm probably going to end up having to show you pictures of some of this. So let me get my pictures up and available. Okay, let's look up. All right, first of all, I'm going to have to stand up. And I do have, sorry, some more light. If I can get it to turn on. There we go. I've got a ring light right here. All right, see those two little ceramic dishes hanging up there? There's a large one and a small one. I'm going to show you the pictures of them so you can see it up close. But they're either trinket dishes or you can hang them on like I've shown you there. I know I'm swinging you around. Sorry. Let me show you the picture up close. Um, okay, here's the large one right here. Remember the house I showed you and I said it was in Patienville? It's one of the first images over there. That is that is it right there. So it is the dimensions are on the listing. So let's find the listing. Okay. All right, that's running. Uh, the dimensions are 6 by 10. Is that right?
Yeah, it's 6 by 10, and it is red terracotta that's been glazed, painted and glazed. And uh, anybody interested in this little piece? Is there one? There's a bid on it. Somebody must have done a pre-bid. Maria, yay! I would love to see you get that. That is very nicely done. Some talented potters and painters there. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's look at the smaller one, which is a little less money. And hang on, I'll find it in a second. All right, there it is, right there. It's the same arc dish, it's just a little smaller dish, and the dish is 4 by 6. Also made of terracotta, and it's made where you can hang it on the wall, or you can use it as a trinket dish. And Maria has placed a bid on this one too. Awesome. Well, that'll be quite easy then to send you both of those. Thank you, Maria. You're going to enjoy that. Thank you. All right, moving on. We're almost 7 o'clock, so I'm glad I got an extra hour. Okay, let's look up there at this one right here. Whoops. At this one right here. This is a very unusual piece of artwork. And let me show you the picture so I can bring it up close. It's constructed out of wood and straw pieces. Let's see. See the wood? It's like inlaid wood, and there's painting, obviously, on it too. There's the big Hades signature, but it's on a wooden background, inlaid wood, and then there's paint added. Let's see if I can bring this one to the stage. Hang on. Not used to being away from my regular stage. I feel awkward. Okay, anyone interested in this piece? It is 12 by 16, and it's a typical of their wood inlay, woodwork. And again, all those bright colors. And look at the lady carrying the basket on her head. So you've got some of the culture there. And that may be Port-au-Prince. There's, ships selling out there. Okay. You had a piece like that, Rachel. Awesome. Okay, Granny, it's vintage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. All right. Y'all, I need to move this table up a little bit so I can get my granny knees in front of me. Okay, let's look at this piece next. Now, kid you not, this is the largest piece I've got. It's lightweight, but I've got it set to be shipped UPS ground. It's the cheapest, and I can't remember what it was. It seemed like anyway. Let me keep going. But Abraham brought that on the plane, carrying it under his arm, and on the bus, carrying it under his arm. That thing is. Let me pull it to stage, so we can see the dimensions. Okay, is that running? Yes, it's running. It's just a local scene. Let me bring you back down and show you on the. I find it. Where is it? There. Okay, so that I can pull it up close. It's a typical scene, all those bright colors. It's 20 by 40. And y'all, I've got it priced at 65, but this thing is worth at least 150, $175. But I priced it at 65 because it seems like the UPS shipping was around $19 to $20. So that would put your cost up to $20 to 85. So, but if you want a real genuine piece of artwork that sells in the galleries at high prices, that's one right there. Okay, that is ended. If you change your mind, it'll be in my bite now. For a while, you can go back to it or write me if you want more information about it. Okay, let me look at some of your comments. Wet Mountain Junker, welcome in. We are taking a tour of around the world in 60 minutes, and I'm taking everybody to Haiti. So, what we're looking at next is this. These are two paintings together. Those blue green looking pieces up there, that's actually two paintings together. Let me find it in my pictures so that I can show it to you a little closer. Um, This I like. I got it because it shows how the houses are stacked on the cliffs coming down, and they do paint them those beautiful colorful pictures, colors. But it's got them working out in the fields and harvesting and stuff, and it's unusually green because it's not necessarily that green there. Let's put these up. I could have separated these, but because they would actually work, separately. But I thought the first time I'll offer them as a pair, as a diptych. That's called a diptych. I like them together. They look like they go together. See how that bush, whoops, that bush right there continues over. So that's how I've used it. Anybody interested in these are 8 inches each of them across, 20 inches high. And I think I was able to send this USPS. Okay, that's ended. All right, now let's look at. You may have already spotted it. That thing right there. Every time I put my finger up there, it goes out of focus. But it's that lizard that's crawling on my wall up there. Let's look at a close up of that. This is real typical work from Haiti. And let me go ahead and put it up and running. It's made out of tin. Whoops, move to stage, start auction. It's made out of tin, and they do have a lot of these lizards, or maybe that's a salamander. I don't know. Look at those feet. But look at his eyes. But I just adored it crawling on the wall in front of those paintings, and I've got that for $18. It's lightweight. It won't be much to ship that. Your house is a gallery, yes, Rachel. Sadly so. And uh, it's either I've got to move and build more space to have more wall space, or start selling. And both my kids voted thumbs up, big time, sell, mama, sell. so, so that's what we're trying to do. And as I was telling y'all earlier, I would much rather see these things go to somebody I know and love than them end up at Goodwill or in some estate sale. All right, these will all be, that's ended. These will all be in the bite now. All right, look right above it. See that little doodad right there? That's also out of 10, and you can see it looks like window shutters that have been cut and slightly opened, and then there's a hook. You could use that for keys, or it's probably not strong enough for a coat. I wouldn't recommend that, but something lightweight could be put on it, or in your kitchen to hold a dish towel or something like that. Let's put that little doodad. I've got that for $8, and that would be cheap to send too. Is anybody interested in that little tin hook, hand painted? That'll be easy to ship. Don't y'all love that tertiary color? That blue green or yellow green? By the way, I want to tell y'all have been such good sports coming into my collections chats and listening to my teaching on color. And I want to say to every single one of them, especially Curry, who just bought this piece, Curry has been so precious to deliberately make an attempt to use some of the vocabulary words that I've been giving out. But please, y'all, be yourselves and call stuff whatever you want to call it. My biggest goal in doing the collections chat is to increase our appreciation of the jewelry. And if you need new words, then I'm giving them to you. But y'all, please be yourselves and but it does tickle me. I just laugh and laugh and laugh every time Curry gets going with some of the words. I try, but I'm sure I totally butchered it. Well, Curry, you are my biggest, one of my biggest sources of entertainment, and I say that with all sorts of love. Not only do I buy you pieces, but you do such late shows. I'm going to tell you a secret. You end up crawling in the bed under the covers with me. I go to sleep sometimes holding that phone and wake up, and you're still talking. Oh gosh, you are so funny. And I love the late night. She just talks and talks and goes on and on. And I love it. Absolutely love it. It's hanging out with my friend Curry. Y'all know we went to the same university together. Not sure we were there at the same time. Could have been. Walking the same halls of Idaho College of Education. Uh, that's quite a coincidence, isn't it? Considering she lives up in Pennsylvania now. Isn't that right? Don't you live in Pennsylvania? Curry, don't you live up in Pennsylvania? Uh, Wet Mountain Junker, are you getting an earful tonight? You never know what you're going to hear on Lily Works. And tonight we are supposed to be doing 60 minutes around the world. And I am into my second 60 minutes because our dear Rachel is not feeling well. And you know she must not be feeling well if she's not starting her show right now. So I jumped in and said, well, I can blab. And I got enough stuff to show, I think, that I can do an extra hour. Okay, let's look back up on the wall. Way up in the corner. All right, see that little straw hat? Y'all, that little straw hat. Remember I showed you the pictures of the flower seller with flowers on top of his head? Well, the women will wear these little hats. They make them and then they wear them, and it's sort of a sign that they are a flower lady. So this is the sweetest little hat. I mean, it's pretty stylish. I think there's a famous brand that must have copied this. Is all right. Is that running? Yeah, that's running. Okay. Straw hat, flower lady, handmade, vintage. There you go. Marissa says she likes that. Yeah, you could. That fits me, so I'm sure that gives you a clue as to what size it is. Oh my goodness! But it's for a grown lady. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, you've won that. Yay! Thank you. That's coming to you. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get up to show you the next couple of items. Come with me. And let's put my light on over here. Y'all see my specimen cabinet? I have it. I am not finished. I have not finished. So don't, if you come back in a month or so, because I'm having to do all those little labels. But these are all my natural specimens. That's a piece of Mookite jasper. We were looking at Mookite just recently. Oh, I'm going to get distracted if I come over here. I'll bring you back to my minerals another day. Okay, see that piece on top right there. That is out of 10. It's there. It's called the Tree of Life. You're familiar with that? That's their version of it. And while we're standing over here, there's that cross, and I can show you a close up of it, a photograph that you can see it better. And then look at that little wind stream thing with all those ribbons. All right, let's look at the photographs. Come back. This is where I'm sitting in this little chair next to my cabinet. I'm trying to make room in this cabinet. I've been moving stuff out to put all my antique perfume bottles that I've got tons of them so that I haven't unpacked yet because I haven't had room to put them. But y'all, one day we'll do a show out of this cabinet and I'll explain to you why I've got a Israeli license plate that's charred. Stuff from Brazil. That's a white fox, Russian white fox hat that I'll sell here when it starts getting cold. I bought that just on the other side of the Brandenburg Gate. Uh, I was there the year that the wall fell in '89. And when the Brandenburg Gate opened up for you to go through from East Germany into West Germany and East Germany, all these East German folks set up vending tables around the Brandenburg Gate and were selling. Look, this is a Russian military cap. I bought all this stuff when I was over there, but I have worn this. Haven't worn it in a while. It's a beautiful white fox hat. I'll show that to you when it gets warm. Okay, have a good look at that light ring. What am I doing? All right, I want to show you a picture of that that right there. Okay, this is what I'm putting up to auction next. It's made out of tin, and it makes an attractive wall hanging. Very colorful, as you can see. No blues, so that's not the primary colors. These are analogous colors, red, yellow, and green next to each other on the color wheel. So this artist chose an analogous color scheme. Am I obnoxious or what? Okay, anybody interested in this little tin thing? Yes, somebody is. Granny's Vintage, yay! Oh, I'm so proud. I'm gonna cry. I'm just so proud that people I know and love are going to be taking these home and having fun with them. You're obviously free to resell them, but it just I just feel like I'm putting them in good hands, and they're not just going to an estate sale or heaven forbid the Goodwill. All right, has that ended? Yes, and Granny won it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, see that the next thing we saw was up there was the cross. This is made out of wood, and see if I can get close up. It looks like it's one of those cliffside where the houses are built into the cliffside. So a lot of things in Haiti are designed vertically like this because they live on those cliffs. But this nice little toll painting. All right, let's put that one up for sale. Okay, I've got $12 on that. I don't know if you can tell the thickness of it, but the fact that it's that lovely bright shade of orange makes it probably different than any cross you've ever had. Thank you, Curry. Excited to have a piece of my aw. Y'all are so sweet. Justine, hey Justine, good to see you in here. Y'all are so sweet. Anybody interested in a rather unique cross from Haiti, hand painted? All right, that's ended. Okay. All right, the next thing was that little thing right there. And it is wooden, and it's just a little you could hang it on the wall like I did. And of course, remember those ribbons were really long. Or you could put it on a porch, and it's not a wind chime, but it would certainly catch the wind and flutter. So I've just got $5 on that. Anybody interested in this little doodad, this little fish? Now, strangely enough, you'd think that nobody would starve in Haiti because they got plenty of fish. Well, They do and they don't. The bay, especially there at Port-au-Prince, which is huge, has become so polluted. See, there's sewage and everything runs off into the water there, and it's the fish have died. Now there are places down below South and Jacamel and all that they go out and can get some decent fish, but fish are very important part of their diet down there. Okay, all right, that's ended. Okay, what have I got next? How are we doing for time? It's 7:11. Okay, this thing is really unusual. See if I can get it all the way out so you can see it. Let me back up. This was completely constructed with string. Do you see that? This is another distinctive type of artwork that the Haitians do. The other is that wood, inlaid wood that I just showed you. But it's been put onto this backed with just a piece of muslin. And there are, up here at the top, there's a stiff rod. And so you can hang it. That's what I would do. I've got it draped over my saddles here, but you could hang it on the wall. But I just adore the color combination. I don't know if that's supposed to be a tree of life, but when you get up close and look at it, people are just amazed at the patience that it took to cut and glue all of that string in place. Is that just not amazing? Okay, let's see if I can get that pulled up. Now, my photograph here that you're seeing is running, the photograph on this item is sideways. So don't be, it's just the way I took it on the floor. And if I turn this, it's probably going, camera's going to turn it. But there it is again. And it's 16 by 22. And what I'd chip it by carefully putting padding in it and rolling it up and send it to you rolled up so it they won't get a bend in it. Okay. Has that ended? Yes. Justine, so happy to be here. Oh, great. Great idea for showing stuff. Well, Justine, this is the only way I could figure out how to do it because there wasn't any way that I could take all this stuff off the wall. And first of all, I just wouldn't even physically be able to get to it. And I thought, well, what the heck? Y'all don't mind if I just sling you around a little bit and show you everything? Okay, what have I got left? Let me look over on my stage. Oh, the Haitian tap tap. Hang on just a second. The tap tap. Where? Oh, goodness gracious. Where is it? All right, y'all come with me. We're going on a treasure hunt in my house to find that tap tap. Let's see if I put it over here. I have started, oh, there it is right there. I have started putting shelves up because once I've unpacked stuff and I've got boxes to unpack out in my workshop, one day I'm going to take y'all on a tour of my workshop. Uh, I am blessed, y'all, with a 1,200 square foot finished workshop right next to my cottage. It matches my cottage. And that's where I do all my shipping and I have storage down there. But what I was saying is I bring boxes in to sell. And once I unpack them and list them, I can't pack them back up. There's the tap tap sitting right there. And somebody, yeah, the green cat. This is stuff I've bought from y'all. Look at there, Rachel. That was your gift you gave to me of, you said you saw a cat with a rat and you thought of Pack Rat Queen with her cat pudding. No, I love it. I love it. She sent that to me as a gift. Anyway, I've had to find creative ways to, because all my cabinets are full. And here's some pretty little swans. I got a little mini collection going on here. But anyway, That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Lord. All right. Somebody needs to have this little tap tap in their life. It was the first thing I chose to let go of. It was kind of like with Marie, getting emotional about her stuff from Mexico. Um, Let me set this down. I I've been emotionally attached to this little thing, uh, just because when I taught art, I often had kids make three-dimensional objects out of scrap wood, and like this was a youngster that made this when he was a teenager, and then paint. And I won't do it. I won't do it, but I've got examples of the little sculptures that they made out of that scrap wood, and I kept some of them. Um, so when I saw this when I was in Haiti, not only because I actually got to ride in one of these tap taps, uh, which was an adventure, but I just struck a couple of conversation with that young man and thought I have just got to take one of these home. Look at the wheels. Look how crudely done it is. So, oh, I don't think I've ever noticed. That's his name, y'all. It's unusual for him to sign their work. I can't read it, but that's unusual. So this is a pretty special piece, if I say so. I've got it for $10. You want the display cabinets in your house? Well, they're more storage cabinets for me now. But thank you. I had so many little things collected from travels that my husband suggested. They're gathering dust, sitting out. Put them in a glass cabinet. So he helped me to buy. I must have about 6 or 7, and some of them are quite big, like this one that's right beside me. And of course, I keep china in some of them, but most of them are full of stuff from my travels. So we could do this around the world thing a lot, Rachel. We could do this a lot around the world. Okay, nobody wanted my tap tap. Y'all, this is a historic piece from Haiti. I know it looks crude, and it is crude, but if does anybody has anybody kept up with in the art world um, the cost, the values of what they call primitive art? Come on, anybody familiar with what they call primitive art? Primitive art, or it's where untrained artists, usually it's the artistic type, right brain type that is extremely prolific. It's like being a Picasso, but without necessarily Picasso's talent. Picasso was one of those. He was driven to create. I mean, he'd find a fork sitting on laying on the ground and pick it up and create a sculpture of it. And today that thing is in a museum and worth $100,000. Go figure. It's got Picasso's name on it. But that thing of being having to create out of found objects are just prolific, just create over and over and over again. How many of you've heard of Howard Finster? I think he's dead now, but he's here in Georgia. But I don't know if you haven't been in the art world, you might not have heard of the phenomena of the primitive art. There must be 100 or so very famous primitive artists, and these are just little old ladies and little old gentlemen, and that just sit around and do nothing but crank out stuff like this and paintings. And I've got an Annie Miller who's very famous, who I've got one of her paintings that she did on a piece of cardboard. It was what they call short shirt cardboard. Came in shirts from the dry cleaners. They used to fold them up and put cardboard in it. And she would collect those pieces of cardboard. And y'all, that painting today is worth 4 figures. Okay. It's just it's on cardboard, and it looks like something maybe that your 4-year-old had drawn,
but it's got Annie Miller's name signed on it. And I'm just telling you, having been in grad school in the art department, one of my professors, Dr. Clements, was a leading factor in causing that phenomenon to take off because he went around and interviewed and researched all of these artists that here, mostly in the South, okay, mostly in the South, and then published a book on it. And people then started collecting, and they'd go to these people's houses and just buy everything they had. A lot of abuse, taking advantage of them. And I'm not saying everything about all that was good, but these people became famous overnight. And Howard Finster was one of them. One my pieces by him are packed up, but they're numbered. And the one I've got is 1 million and something numbered, y'all. That's how many pieces he produced. But that particular piece that I've got by him is, last time I checked, seemed like it was close to $14,000. Can you believe that? That is just unreal. Okay. Rachel said she wanted it, but she's afraid her kids would destroy it. Well, it's not a toy to let your kids play with. It's to put behind glass and let it percolate. I just told you, Howard Finster, that doesn't look much better than that, is now selling for the piece I got for around $14,000. I've got a hanging up on my wall over there by the door. Y'all see that thing right there, blue? That's called, that name of that piece is Blow Oscar. It's made out of tin, aluminum tin, like you'd put on your roof. And down at the bottom, it looks like a little soldier, but down at the bottom it has R.A. Miller written on it, and he's blowing a horn. And that piece and all the different variations he did on it, the last I checked on that piece was about 15 years ago at the Ritz Carlton in Atlanta in the gift shop. That same a rendition of that same piece was selling for about $850. Wow. Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm giving you a little art lesson here, and I've gotten away from. Okay, we ran that, and no takers on that, at least now. Um, okay. Hey, Eve, Georgia, is that Eve GA? Eve, Georgia, join the crowd. Hey, nice to see you. You've joined a group where we're going around the world 60 minutes, and I am in Haiti, showing everybody stuff from Haiti. And I need to look and see if there's anything else in my. Oh, yeah, I've got one more thing that I haven't run, and I think it's the only thing left. Hang on, I'm just looking down through my store. And by the way, in my bite now, I've got some cool things that you can see. They're mostly books, and very, very collectible books, very old first editions. They got prices on them that are hefty, but that's because they're first editions and they're old and they're rare. Okay, big boom. This is the last item I've got, and this was another piece that Brother Abraham brought to me on one of his trips. Had it under his arm. I think he stuffed that in his suitcase. But it's a handmade globe. Needs to be oiled so it'll move a little easier. But it's out of that wood, and it says Haiti right down here. And all of the, I just think it's really cool how they wrote the names of everything. They did a pretty good job. I'm going to bring there's Haiti right there in Santo Domingo and all the islands, Caribbean islands. And let me pull this around and say something. Is Curry still in the room? And some of the y'all that was in Curry's room yesterday, you know what I'm going to say. Curry has the greatest little thing she does in her life. While she's showing stuff, she'll do these little trivia games, and I have to sit on my finger because I am so competitive when it comes to stuff like that, and I would just completely monopolize her chat. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. She pulled out a card and asked a trivia question, had multiple choice answers at the bottom, but the question was, how many countries are in North America? And all the numbers were like 20 something to 30. I mean, and both she and she didn't know it, but I was agreeing with her, going, what? Um, North America is just two, the United States and Canada. That's just two. But somebody else came up with one of the answers in the multiple choice, which was like, what was it, 23? It was huge. Well, you have to remember, Curry and I are getting old. We haven't been in ninth grade social studies in a long time. We didn't realize that North America includes all the way down to here and all these Caribbean nations. So there is like 23 or so. But I, I always thought North America was just the United States and Canada. And all this is Mexico and on down. That's Central America. And that's the Caribbean. And that's South America. We we were so embarrassed. And what's really funny is that Curry got so upset that the card. She said the card's wrong. It's wrong. There's only two. It's just the United States and Canada. All these answers are wrong, and she tore the card up in front of us. And then we discovered no. The answer was 23, which was one of the responses. And bless her heart, she said, I'm going to have to find those pieces and tape them back together. I cracked up. Y'all are missing a treat if you don't go to uh, Curry's. She's Cherished Relics Boutique. She's down there in the chat. You did tape them back together. Good for you. Now you could use it again. And us two old ladies, we've now been educated that North America includes all of these countries too. Oh, y'all. Everybody else knew. All the younger folks knew. Okay, have I run this thing? Let me run this. If you like globes, I heard somebody the other day say they collected globes. Well, I've got $14 on this. This also I would send UPS ground, which was about $15, I think. So that would put this thing at $30. Anybody interested? You're looking her up right now. Wet Mountain, prove to us. I wish you could prove we were right that the answer was two and not 23. Apparently, we need the globe to help with our geography. I know, but it doesn't identify all of that as North America. How many of you have said that's Central America? That's the Caribbean. That is South America. Oh Lord, we had a social studies teacher in the chat. No wonder we were proven wrong. I bet she was laughing her head off at us. At us. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's ended. For some reason, I find that so funny. Geography, a lot of folks, not many folks really like geography, but I do. I do. And I have now shown y'all everything that was up for sale. But stay with me because we've got another train coming up. And Teal Chickadee is maybe sitting on ready, maybe not. We'll check on her in just a minute. But I need to ask y'all something. Uh, Geography. I have got maps. Oh, Lord help maps. We did pretty good over here last night looking at travel books and stuff. I sold all of those on Italy. Seemed like that was the only thing we looked at was Italy. But I need to ask you, give me some feedback. There's Turkey. I have got, look at this on Jerusalem. I won't run them now, but I have got more travel books. Look up there. And those are awesome for
They're packed full of history and maps, and they show you, look, the next shelf up, and then the shelf at the very top are travel journals, stories written by people traveling, and that's my favorite type of reading. Armchair travel, right there. Take you to any country in the world through the eyes of another person. Okay, so my question, whew, I'm out of breath. Give me some feedback. Would y'all like to do, would you like for me to do a single show sometime and sell some more of this type of book? Give me a thumbs up, a yes, and if you don't respond, uh, I may do it anyway. But it'd be nice to know if uh, somebody was interested. All right, I'm making my way back over here to my table. All right, got one last thing to tell you. I've got one thumbs up and one yes. Great. 2 out of 12 isn't bad. That's not bad. All right, well, just watch for me to do a pop up. Okay, one last little doodad to show you. Everybody in here knows. I'm sorry I'm out of breath. Just stay short winded these days. Um, those of you that follow my jewelry sales know that I just adore Coro. And there's a little something in here I want to read to you that's connected to what went on in somebody's show, Maria's show. Yeah, when she was selling us all the Mexican jewelry and the Taxco pieces and explaining about that and about sterling silver and all that kind of, and alpaca and the differences and all that. That was very informative, Maria. Really enjoyed that. And, but there's a little story in here about the owner of Coro, one of the founders, about Taxco, and I want to share that in just a second. But before I do, when I did my color teaching the other day in collections chat, we were talking about color schemes, and I failed to mention that this book is in the buy it now, and it still is. But you see, it's color combinations, and this, look at that. If you can't buy that more expensive cube thing that I was talking about, if you're a crafter or decorator and you wonder, what colors look good together, books like this will give it to you surefire combinations of tints and shades and tones of different hues that will go together, which will match. Picking out paint for your walls and trim, it can be a challenge. Well, that's why a book like this is handy. So I think I've got it for just a few dollars, but you can find this in the buy it now. First come, first serve. And then what I wanted to show you about the Coro that you may not know. I didn't know it till I read it. Oh, goodness. All right. Hang on. I just took my marker out. South of the border. Here we go. Okay. South of the border. You can't see it for the glare, but let me just read it. And there is, by the way, Jean Verney. Jean Very, who is the head designer for Coro. Look at there working. Oh my gosh. The original designs coming from just a simple little tabletop right there in his Coro office, 1930. Okay, Gerald Rosenberger, who is the RO in Coro. I think Cohen, Cohen, was the CO, and Rosenberger is two Jewish guys. That's where the name Coro came from. It says that he discovered a wonderful vacation spot south of the border and acquired a sunny hacienda as a retreat from the cares of managing Coro, which was up in Rhode Island. Okay. Always a man to explore his location, he uncovered a fascinating Mexican business. Curry, are you in here? Are you listening? We really got to talking about Tasco, and I'm sending you that book on the
about Tasco and the Mexican silversmiths and their marks. It's a book with all their marks in it. So listen up. I hope you're still in the room. Not surprisingly, this Mexican business, it was well run. It was a well run, prosperous jewelry studio in Taxco, which is a town, okay, that produced silver items. Now, this was in the 1940s when World War I war effort had made it necessary for Uncle Sam to declare all tin and lead production be dedicated to making much needed military supplies. So this limited the lead available to the jewelry industry. During that time, they'd used what they call pot metal, and they'd coat it with rhodium. So all of our early 30s and 40s jewelry, that oftentimes was the metal that was used. Okay, so when the war limited those metals, then it said this limited the lead available to the jewelry industry, reducing many companies to melting down old window sash weights in order to have some white metal for casting. Well, Mr. Rosenberger discovered a hidden silver mine. That's a metaphor. When he met Taxco silversmiths such as William Spratlin, probably the most famous Mexican. Be on the lookout, and you need to know what his marks look like. Y'all, we're talking big money if you can find his. And Hector Aguilar, all right? He quickly bought interest in one of the largest Taxco jewelry factories. Now, this is Rosenberger. Did you know that? Did you know he bought interest in one of those jewelry companies down in Taxco? And said the silversmiths used their expertise and incorporated the Coro techniques, meeting the high standards of quality required by Mr. Rosenberger, and they produced many pieces for Coro's line of Mexican silver and gold plated silver. Some of the pieces were marked, quote, made in Mexico, and all were marked Coro. Now we're talking about Coro pieces, right? And have you ever seen a Coro piece that says made in Mexico? Well, I've got one. I didn't take the time to go dig it out, but I also have some called that are marked Coro Sterling. And y'all, those pieces, especially if you can find one that says made in Mexico, they're worth good money. This helped to round out Coro's wartime production. Hands across the border, the partnership helped Coro to maintain its jewelry lines while helping on the home front with the manufacturing of much needed items for the military forces. The Taxco factory continued producing Coro silver for a term of approximately 3 years, helping out its North American friends. So, y'all, 3 years was the period that those particular Coro pieces were made. So that is why if you find a piece that says made in Mexico, okay, or that I may be where it says Coro Sterling. Research that a little bit more to confirm that that was the pieces made in those 3 years. But the Coro pieces were made with sterling during that time. So just a little heads up history with a wonderful connection with our Mexican silversmiths that I didn't think maybe some of you knew. I didn't know. I didn't know until I read that. Thank the Lord for good books. All right, it is 7:40. Let me just peek and see. Okay, Teal Chickadee is not up and running, so that means that I can continue to chit chat to you. I was going to show y'all some stuff from Israel, but one of the things, and what I'll do is just introduce you to these, and I'll put them in a different show. But I've got all of these. They're called camel cords, and they've got camel bells on the bottom. I've bought a whole bunch of them. They actually drape the camels with them, and I've got them on my horse saddle, staying here. But I've got a whole bunch of them, and I could sell those. I love the little brass bell. That one doesn't have its ringer. That one's lost its ringer too. Sorry about that. But these are fun.
to hang around to decorate with if you don't have a camel to decorate. And let me pull that string painting out from Haiti. These are my daddy's chaps. He he went to from Atlanta to El Paso, Texas, right before the war, and fell in love with Mexico because working on a ranch in El Paso on the weekends he'd cross the border into Tijuana. Boy, did he have some stories. He loved Mexico, loved the Mexican people. And later on in life, took many trips to Mexico, and that's where I developed my love for Mexican stuff. There's Daddy's chaps and his boots and stuff are all down there. Here's my Australian Outback saddle that was made in India, and I bought it in Greece, just above Athens. That's an international saddle. This is an Afghani camel saddle, and one of these days I'm going to sell all this stuff too. It drapes all the way over, has two pockets, but isn't that beautiful? This red thing I bought is a saddle blanket. I used to ride horses, y'all, so I'm a horse freak. But this is from Kenya. It's newer. Well, it's about 10 years old, I guess. And I don't know why I bought that red saddle thing and a red halter. Here's my horse's old halter right here. Of course, my horse is dead and gone, but I still have his bit and halter. I'm just a wee bit sentimental. And there are the stirrups from my riding saddle that's long gone, but it's got a bit of vermeil. Oh man. I mean, not vermeil. What do you call that? Verdigris? I need to clean those in some vinegar. There's my riding cap. And there's a story behind this German dressage saddle that is for another day. Let's see if Tickadee is here. She's not. Tell Tickadee, I just realized my items aren't loaded. Yes, I'll give you all the time you want, as long as everybody will stay with me. We don't want to lose y'all. We want you to raid into Till Chickadee's store, and I'm going to turn this into her show. Turn that off. We walk around over here, and I'll show you. There's a story attached to this, too, that has to do with that charred license plate from Israel. That's a Palestinian Bedouin wedding veil. That's what it would look like on. Oh, there's a story. There's a big story there. My car getting blown up in Israel. But, and this is my jewelry mess. And this is where I'm doing all my sorting. I think I'm going to do a pop up and actually, like I'll do on Jarins, and go through some of these boxes as I separate them out into by designer. I got a lot of organizational work that needs to be done, but I may just bring you along for the ride on some of that and see if you enjoy it. Look at that baby. That glows in the dark. That is a Bouget. That's a jewelry maker who did a specialty item of Christmas trees. When I do the glow in the dark show next week, I think I've got a different one, different colors that I'm going to show, put up for sale. And that glowing show, y'all, I can't wait to do it. I'm going to do it right over here in the dark. Turn the lights out, and there's my cubby full of stuff. And we're going to have fun sitting here. Let me sit down. Sitting here in the dark. I haven't unloaded my stuff from the show the other night. All the stuff's in the bite now. That's a Kenneth Cole. That is a nice necklace. Look at that little rhinestone accent. Those little crystals. And look, there's metal in between. This is a really well designed piece. It's by Kenneth Cole, and there's earrings to match. I'm just advertising my stuff while we're waiting on Miss Teal Dickady. We just need to come down and visit you, stay with you for a weekend and shop. Oh, Maria, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Boucher, Rachel, was that Christmas tree that I showed everybody? Is that who made that? Um, um, yeah, I need to look up. I've forgotten, but that sounds like it might be right. No, but I don't think it is. I think it's boo. It's like bougie it's some. It's a different name. Yes, my car was blown up. Curry. Fortunately, I wasn't in it, but that's a great story. Just I have to tell you sometime. I will tell you sometime when I show you all my Israeli stuff. I'll definitely tell that story. That was quite an adventure. It ended. The story ended with me being in Paris for the weekend, a long weekend at the Louvre. Went there specifically to see the Mona Lisa live. I'd never seen her live before, and so how did we go from a blown up car in Jerusalem to being in the Louvre looking at a Mona Lisa? It's a great story. Okay, let's see if Teal check. All right, she's ready. I have enjoyed all of y'all. Let me turn it around. I've enjoyed this tonight. I hope I haven't bored you silly. And those of you that bought something, I'm excited for you. I'll get it packed up and off to you, and I'll combine shipping as much as I can, and refund you everything extra. Okay. I love all you. Wet Mountain Junker, thank you, sweetheart. Curry, thank you. Rachel, thank you. You feel better. Gargle you some salt water. Granny Bush is telling you to gargle some salt water. Okay, let's go to Marissa to Teal Chickadee. Bye.